In this lecture, I'm going to discuss book price and length, or how long your book should be and how much you should charge. All of these issues impact your release schedule. Do you write long books? Do you write short books? Do you write long books that are expensive? Do you write short books that are cheap? How cheap do you go? How fast can you write a book? What kind of release schedule are you talking about? Well, I always say you should write in a series. Well, what does that mean for releasing your books? So we're going to take a look at issues related to book price and length. The price for your book is set in KDP on the last screen, the book pricing page, in which you're going to set your royalty at either 70 or 35%. You want to push 70%, which means your book has to be from $2.99 to $9.99. Now, with that said, we're going to jump over and we're going to start looking at length. Word count and page count. I want to talk about those right up front. Readers think in pages, right? When they think about a book that they're reading, they think about, this is a 320-page book, something like that. Writers think in words. Since you're going to be dealing with readers and you're a writer, you need to think in both. So what's the conversion? Well, it turns out that the standard conversion that everybody seems to agree with is that 250 words equals 1 page. Now, what significance does length have to do in writing? Well, it turns out that there are several industry standard book lengths. Now, I'm just giving you a few of them here to give you an idea, and I'm showing them to you in words and pages so you can get a feel for both. First, there's the long novel, usually used for fantasies, and those are 100,000 words or more, where you're talking about 400, you're talking about even more. You're talking probably like a big honkin' fantasy novel could be easily 200,000 words at 800 pages, right? Something by George R.R. Martin. A standard novel is 80,000 words or about 320 pages, whereas a short novel, like a cozy mystery, those are usually about 65,000 words or about 260 pages. Novellas get even shorter yet, down to about 30,000 words or 120 pages. And then the lengths that we're most interested in, what I call the long technical guide at 20,000 words or 80 pages, and the short technical guide at 10,000 words or 40 pages. And then finally, there's a short story, about 5K words, 20 pages. So these are traditional industry standards, but how do they stand up in the electronic age? These traditional numbers provide useful reference points for writers. Readers are comfortable with these traditional links, even if we're in an electronic age now. However, these links were imposed by print publication requirements that no longer apply in the electronic age. So what's my point? Write any length you'd like in ebook format, but try not to stray too far from the traditional reader expectations. If you're writing fantasies, for instance, you would write very long. We're writing technical guides, and we're going to try and keep them short. So they can be anything. They could be considered coming up to cozy mystery length, 65,000 words. You could do that if you wanted to write something longer. But myself and what I'm going to propose in this lecture is that you keep it down around 20,000 words and you write more books. And you write in a series. Now, I want to talk about how you figure out how fast you write. Located in the lower left-hand corner of the word screen is the number of words in your document. It's right after the number of pages. And if you select a portion of your document, then the number before the word of is the number of words in the selection. So if you want to know how long a chapter is, just select the chapter and look at the word count in the lower left-hand corner of your Microsoft Word screen. If you want to know how long your document is, you can just look down there at any time. Now, the thing that I'm getting at with this is, what is a typical writing speed? And how long would you typically write? An easily attainable personal writing goal. This is what I shoot for. 500 words. That's the minimum. Or 2 pages. The average that I shoot for, maybe for a day, is 1,000 words. or 4 pages. And the maximum that I seem to shoot for is 3,000, 2,000 words, or 8 to 12 pages. So I write and revise at a rate of 500 words per hour for 2 hours a day when I'm writing, for a total of 1,000 words per day. Now, I write kind of slowly because I'm revising and kind of editing and writing and thinking and outlining at the same time. I tend to mix them all together. If I was just plowing through and making my fingers move as fast as I could probably get up to 5,000 words. I could probably get up to 5,000 words a day, but that's really pushing it for me. So here's my numbers: 500 words an hour, 2 hours a day, 1,000 words per day. Now, what does that do to the traditional classifications? Well, a long novel at 100,000 words, if I write at 1,000 words a day, that means 100 days. And a standard novel is going to be 80 days, or about 3 months. Now, remember, too, that these are just writing durations. There are other things that you need to do, like research and outlining and publishing and creating a book cover, all of those things. That's going to add time. This is just the writing time. So a short novel, a short mystery novel, 65 days. A novella, 30 days. And here's where it gets interesting. The long technical guide, which interests me a great deal at 20,000 words, just takes 20 days to write. About 3 weeks, and I've got a book. A short technical guide, 10 days. You're talking about a week and a half, and you've got yourself a short technical guide, a book. And then the short story would be about 5 days to write. So that's some interesting uses of writing speed. One of the things we're going to do in this lecture is we're going to figure out just how long it's going to take you to write your book. And these are the numbers we're basing it on. Now, how do you determine your own writing pace? Well, to determine your writing speed, write for 1 hour. Record your word count in Word before you start writing, and then record your word count after you start writing, and the difference is how many words you write in an hour. So then determine your daily writing commitment, and I recommend you try and stick to it. So if you're going to write 2 hours a day while you're writing your book, try and write for 2 hours a day. And I like to write every day. It's up to you if you want to take weekends off and stuff like that. If you take weekends off, then you got to add weekends to your total writing time. But here's an example. If I write 2 hours a day at 542 words an hour, then I could do 1,084 words per day. Now, determine the length of your project, and you have the number of days it's going to take to write it. A 20,000 word long technical guide would be 19 days to write, given this example. Run your own numbers and see how fast you write. Now I want to start talking a little bit about pricing. I want to talk about Amazon ebook royalties, because Amazon is where we're really aiming at publishing. Amazon offers a 70% royalty to any author/publisher who will price their book from $2.99 to $9.99 and offer their book for no less on a competing platform, for instance, Barnes & Noble. So you've got to have Amazon be your cheapest book platform. Otherwise, Amazon defaults to a 35% royalty, which really stinks. That means that you're going to make half as much if you don't comply with these requirements. And also note that Amazon only offers a 35% royalty in Japan, Brazil, India, and Mexico, unless your ebook is in the KDP Select program. The minimum price you can set for your ebook is 99 cents. The exception being if you make your ebook perma-free. Now, what's perma-free? You can actually have a free book on Amazon by making your book free somewhere else, like Barnes & Noble, and then getting all of your readers to complain to Amazon that the book is cheaper somewhere else, and Amazon will price match it. Yes, that is the actual process that you go through, and Amazon agrees with it to make your book perma-free on Amazon. It's very rare. 99 cents has become the new free, and that's what people usually set to. But some people go for the perma-free route. So let's look at some Amazon ebook prices. There are 3 important Amazon ebook price points based on what I just read to you. The 99 cent, that's the cheapest that you can go, but you're only going to get 35%. So you make 35 cents a book. The minimum 70% price which is $2.99. There you get 70%, so you make $2.09 per book. And then the maximum 70% price, which is $9.99, and at 70% you would make $6.99. I call $2.99 the sweet spot. Why? Well, notice this, that at $2.98 you make $1.04, and at $2.99, a penny more, you make twice as much. The sweet spot is $2.99. It's the minimum price that you can charge for your book and still receive a 70% royalty from Amazon. Other interesting price points that I use. I take 3 books, bundle them, and charge $5.99 for it. So basically you're getting 3 books for the price of 2. I give that discount, and that's at 70%. It makes $4.19. And then sometimes I'll take my latest book, the latest release, and I'll charge a premium for it. Instead of charging $2.99, I'll charge $3.99 for it. And that will get me $2.79. So these are some interesting price points that we're going to play with here. Now, I want to point out, here's a slide that I took from an older course. So it looks a little crufty, but it makes a really interesting point about the sweet spot. The sweet spot being the minimum price you can charge and still receive a 70% royalty from Amazon. This is what it looks like graphically. Now, why not price your ebook higher than $2.99? You keep getting the 70% royalty right up to $9.99, right? So why not increase your book beyond $2.99 to generate even more revenue? In a word, competition. You want to set your price at the minimum to generate 70%. And what I recommend you do, go on to Amazon and take a look in your genre, your niche, whatever you're thinking of potentially writing in, and take a look at the prices of other books you're competing against. You'll notice that there's a lot of books for $2.99 out there, or even 99 cents, that are competing on price. Price is the first element under your control through which you can compete right away. So use it. So here I want to talk about money matters. Why does the price matter so much? Well, look at all these calculations. If you sell 100 books at 99 cents, you'll make $35. But if you do it at $2.99, you'll make $209. You will make 6 times more because you will double your percentage royalty and you'll triple your price. As you move up, you make more and more until finally you go beyond $9.99 and start getting 35% again, and price drops. What about to make $1,000? Here's another way to look at it. At 99 cents, you need to sell 2,857 books to make $1,000, whereas you only have to sell 478 at $2.99. And by the way, I thought you might be interested. My best sales per month for a single book that I published, this was a book written by my wife, Melanie Jackson, Moving Violation, in March 2011. I sold the book for $3.99, which generated a 70% royalty. I sold 3,005 books in 1 month, generating $8,384 for a single book in a month. So there's money out there to be made. Now, what I recommend, choose an appropriate word count goal for your project. Now, notice you're not choosing your word count. That's going to end up being whatever it ends up being. But you can kind of shoot for a goal and get pretty close to it. So pick a goal. Choose something as short as possible, just long enough to justify the $2.99 price point. So I really want you to write with $2.99 in your mind. Get to that. Now, once you become more popular, if you're going to end up writing really long books and stuff like that, forget the $2.99 price point. You want to be up at $4.99, $5.99, $6.99, something like that. And you can certainly do that once you become popular. I'm recommending $2.99 specifically to brand new writers, even though I use it myself to this day. And I've been published since, 2010. Now, you should also probably write no shorter than about 20,000 words. Now, I've written down to 10,000 words and tried charging $2.99. It didn't really work that great. 20,000 words, you can pretty much get away with it. At 10,000 words, you're talking probably going to be 99 cents per book. So I'm recommending, and this is all just a recommendation, these aren't hard and fast rules, that you write short, charge $2.99, and try to get to at least 20,000 words. I think you'll be pretty good there. Here I am in Google, and I'm going to go to my blog, which is at Author Blog and Reviews. All one word, and reviews is plural. Author Blog and Reviews.com. So once you make it to the website, then what I want you to scroll down and look at the right side panel here and look for Book Calculator. When you see the icon for it, just go ahead and click on it. And these are the calculations that it can do. Now it has built-in instructions. So use the following table to estimate the length of your book. Enter the number of chapters in your book and the average chapter length, and be sure and press enter after you change something. So for instance, let's say I'm going to have 20 chapters in my book, and I want each chapter to be 1,000 words. So I change this number to 1,000, I press enter, and it says the total length of my book is going to be 20,000 words. This is considered a long technical guide, and the suggested book price is 99 cents. Now we're going to break the recommendation of this web page by charging $2.99 for our 20,000 word technical guide. The next thing that you can do is use the following table to estimate the number of words you write per day. Enter your words per hour by the number of hours per day that you write, and it will multiply the two for you. So let's say we write 1,000 words per day or per hour for 2 hours per day. I'm going to press enter. That's 2,000 words per day. Now that's not exactly a helpful calculation. You can do this with the calculator. But what this is doing is feeding forward your words per day into this calculation. So we have a 20,000 word book now, and we're writing 2,000 words per day. That means to write our book, notice this row here, it's going to take us 10 days, right? 2,000 words a day for 10 days. Now what this calculation, or what this table does, is it says, well, outlining is going to take 20% of the time. Research is going to take 5% of the time. Writing is going to take 65% of the time, and editing is going to take 10% of the time. Now, if you add that all up, you come out to 100%. And based on those percentages, what it does is it says, well, if writing is going to take 10 days, and it's 65% of your total time, then outlining, that's 20% of your total time, is going to take 4 days. And research is going to take 1. Now, in addition, you can add planning days. These are done in days rather than percentage. The same with creating your book cover. It doesn't matter how long your book is as far as a percentage. It's the number of days it takes to create a book cover. The same with self-publishing. It's going to take the same number of days no matter how long your book is. So these are fixed numbers of days. And these 4 calculations in the middle are percentages. And what it does at the end is it tells you the number of days that it's going to take you to write your book. So if I write a book that's composed of 20 1,000 word chapters, the book length is going to be 20,000 words long. It's going to be a long technical guide, and I'm going to charge $2.99 instead of $1.90 or 99 cents. I want to optimize my revenue. I'm going to write at 1,000 words per hour for 2 hours a day for 2,000 words a day. That's quite a bit. And here's the number of days based on all these calculations. I find this to be a helpful little web page